Okay, hello. I figured I'd just do an informal video here because I had more planned for today, but it is now starting to transition from being warm to cold and snowy and rainy, and it's NFL wildcard playoffs weekend. So I figured instead of going out, I'm just going to do this video where I kind of show you around Sam, my truck, my Jeep Gladiator High Tide, which is basically just a sport with fancy interior. So we'll go through it and kind of talk about my Jeep, what I've done to it so far, my plans for it in the future, my plans for this channel once we get out of winter and into spring, because I am in the Northeast and it's kind of locked down for the winter. So let's go start with the Jeep, and we'll go through everything I've done so far. So everything you've seen on the trails that I've done in the videos, I've not installed anything new. So everything I did was based on this build right now so far. So we'll start with the front and we'll work our way to the back. And then honestly, if I miss anything or you have questions, just comment and I'll answer them as I can, or maybe do a follow-up video if there's enough questions or if I missed too many things, because I'm not used to doing these. So we'll just go from here and see how it goes. Starting with the front, let me turn you guys around. Okay, so in the front of the vehicle, we have my Gladiator High Tide. It was a nice deal this summer in the 2025 model year for Jeeps. You got a really nice interior. You got some cool tires and cool badges for a pretty cheap price. Obviously, I've already replaced the tires that came with it. I did sell the tires, so I mean, they were mud terrains, so they weren't bad. Got some money back for going up to these 35s. Anyways, we'll talk about that in a minute. In the front, I've already replaced the bumper. This is like a Rock Rampage bumper I got off, I believe, Quadratech. It shipped directly from Rock Rampage, and I'm pretty sure it was like $300. It was a pretty cheap steel bumper. Obviously, there's nicer ones out there that are aluminum, or they have integrated spots for your winch so that your winch is kind of better protected or hidden. Mine is the way this is just set up where I have the stock fog lights. I threw some D-links on there for some tow points. Badlands winch, which you can see here, that's just your Badlands Apex 12K winch from Harbor Freight. That's where the Fairlane lead is. It's Badlands. This is all synthetic and stock stuff that came with the Apex. So that's pretty much winch is Apex from Apex Badlands, synthetic winch from Harbor Freight. The front bumper is the Rock Rampage front bumper that I got off Quadratech. I think you can get it off other websites. It was like $300 shipped, which is why I bought it. Because I figured a steel bumper, I don't want to spend too much money. That way, if it gets destroyed, crashed, rusted, whatever, it was only $300, I could buy another one. These lights here, these are just some aux beam fog lights, floodlights, sorry, aux beam floodlights in yellow. I bought these, and as you can see, the nice thing about the Rock Rampage is that the wires here, if I can get closer, so the wires basically run into the bull bar, run down, so that way I have my cables, hidden in there, ran the cables down instead of zip tying things on. And other than that, that's pretty much the front here. I do have these, I don't even know what you call them, runners, LED runners on the grill. When my lights come on, my parking lights come on, they're integrated with the parking light. So when these turn on, side LEDs, these will also turn on, and they're basically amber LED lights, and they just look cool. They don't add anything. They don't add horsepower. They just add like a cool factor because they look good. That's the front. So now let's go under the hood. Give me a moment to use one hand. Okay, as you can hear and see, first thing I put on some hydraulic lifts for the hood. That way I don't have to use the latch or anything like that. It just pops up, pops open. You'll see I do have some things down over here. We'll start on the right side of the engine. Right side of the engine bay is nothing, all stock. Have not added anything. There are some wires ran for, LED lights and things like that. Over here on the left side, the battery side, obviously this is where I've done the most work, and mainly it is just running wires. I have this disconnect mounting plate just to keep things nice and organized. Over here, I have a mounting plate. This is from Gatekeeper Off-Road. It's a way to mount my aux beam light panel with obviously the fuse and everything like that. So it's just basically everything in here is just for organization. Nothing, no performance, just running lights, running wires, trying to keep things organized in the engine bay. But so that's all I've done here. I don't have, no turbos, no superchargers, no cold air intakes or anything like that. It's just wiring. And there's that. So if you have any questions, I can't remember. I remember Gatekeeper Off-Road for the mounting panel for the aux beam. I don't remember the vendor that I bought for that disconnect plate. I will look it up and I will put it in the description before I upload this. I do have the LED headlights, LED side panels, that all came with it. I got the LED package. So I guess I could say that. I have the LED upgrade package with the high tide. I have the convenience package for the heated seats, heated steering wheel, etc. And I have the safety package because I wanted the LED rear tail lights. And the only way to get LED rear tail lights was to get the safety package so that I can get the blind spot monitoring. So those are the packages I put in as well with the high tide. I don't have premium audio. So yeah, it sounds like garbage, but we make by. I'm more interested in hearing the woods and not the radio. I know there's a time where I'll probably get annoyed and second guess that, but for now, I don't need the audio. Okay, so now let's go from the front. We're going to shift towards the front left, front right suspension mods, right? Okay, so this is where I have the Clayton Off-Road 2.5-inch ride right kit. I don't have the full suspension like the Overland Plus. It's just a rad right. So I'll try to get in here and we might actually even just get underneath the vehicle and show you some things. Those are Wild Peak AT4Ws, 35 by 11.5, R17. A little bit narrower. They're not the 12.5-inch wide. Most people go with 12.5-inch, but they also have aftermarket wheels. I'm using the stock wheels just because I'm not made of money and I can only do so much 3 months after buying the Jeep. I can't just dump cash in. Because I am married and I want to stay married, so we're not going to dump a whole bunch of cash right up front. I'm doing what I can. And so then you'll also see, so the Ride Right kit is a 2.5-inch lift that helps prevent the rubbing. These can basically turn, I am on the stock Dana 44 axles. They're the narrow axles, not the wide axles. And I can say with these wheels, with the 2.5-inch lift, I do rub on the disconnects, on the sway bar disconnects, the end links. I do not rub on the lower control arm. So just anybody, if you're interested in stock wheels with the stock back spacing offsets, what you can get away with on the 35. If you do a 35 and 11.5, It's just slight rubbing, mainly on reverse when you're reversing on the sway bar end link. And that's because I'm using the quick disconnects from TerraFlex. I think they stick out a little farther. I might not even rub if I had a different kind. So let's go. I'm going to pause this. We're going to go underneath. I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, and we're back. Mainly we're back just to show you. That is the stock lower control arm. There's our wheel, there's our offset, there's our spacing. And I'm going to kind of show you a little bit. So there's the, right here where I'm pointing at, that I have the light shined on. That is the Clayton upper control arm that is adjustable. And so there's that. That comes with the Ride Right kit. We are using the stock lower control arm still. That'll be replaced eventually, but not right now. Okay, so there, all this work to show you that for 3 seconds, and now we're gonna go to the other side. Okay, and now along with the Ride Right kit comes with, right here, where I'm gonna touch the flashlight. That is the front, what do I want to call it? Drag link. The front, no, not drag link. What is it? Track bar. The front track bar, sorry. It's the front track bar that comes with the Ride Right kit as well. Over here to the sway bar. It's a sport, right? So I don't have the sway bar disconnects inside. I don't have electronic, it's manual. So I do have the TerraFlex sway bar quick disconnects. And like I said, here you can see, well, I don't know if you can actually see, but this is where it rubs. It rubs right on here slightly when I'm in reverse. That's it. Nothing else rubs on this with these tires. And we'll go, keep going back now. So give me a second to readjust. Okay, we're back. This is like a workout. Running back and forth trying to get the shots. Up here on the top on the pillars, I have aux beam. These are just like spotlights with these like wide side shooters. So they're kind of these just off-road lights that I never get to use because they're so bright and illegal to use on the road. And I haven't done anything out in the woods yet at night. Plans are to eventually probably do the get like the upper spotlights. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but as you can see, I threw some decals on. They're not even straight, so I put my American flag decals on. One of the first mods I did was the American flag decals. I was so proud of it until I realized that they weren't even straight, but it's like whatever. The side steps. The High Tide comes with side steps. I removed those, traded them, and got some Rubicon sliders. Right, everybody's getting rid of their Rubicon sliders. I got them for like $100. Some guy at a dealership was actually selling them because I think a customer came in and traded them, so he sold his takeoffs. So they were like brand new because the guy bought the Rubicon and immediately swapped the side steps. So I got these brand new from a dealership for $100 because they were takeoffs. In the back, it's the same thing. I'm gonna probably go around to the other side because there's more light over there. In the rear, it's the same thing. We have the wheels, tires, everything's the same as the front. It's Clayton Ride Right kit, so the rears don't have, it's using all stock suspension components except for springs and except for shocks. The upper and lower control arms are still stock. That's something that I'm probably going to change last. I think the next upgrades on the suspension are going to be the adjustable lower control arms for the front. And that's just so I can dial in the caster a little better. I got it dialed in pretty well now, but I'm going to dial it in a little better. And it's easier to see back here. So you can see my, I'm going to have to fix that in editing. I didn't have any light. Okay, so as you can see back here, my shocks, I got the Bilstein 5100s. I got them on the front and the rear. And I will say, for just what I'm doing on road and off road, I like them. They feel way better than stock. I'm sure that the really expensive ones probably feel better than these, but I will say for the price, I got them under $100 a shock. So it was about $400 after tax for all 4 of them. And I will say they're way nicer than stock. Off-road, I don't know. I really like them. I feel like they're rigid but soft. The springs might be helping too. I don't know. But let's go to the rear. Now we have the bumper. Hold on, it's a weird angle. Ugh. As you can see, like Austin powers my way to get my Jeep like sideways so I can close the doors and still have room to walk around. So body armor 4x4 rear bumper. It lets you keep the all the stock components from the original bumper, the rear lights, the trailer power plugs and everything. Even have the sensors for backing up. Those are still integrated in there. This thing does weigh like 80 pounds. It is a heavy steel bumper, and this one definitely wasn't cheap. It cost me like $600 some, I'm pretty sure. But I figured if I was going to go expensive, I was going to go expensive on the rear bumper and not the front bumper. Why? I don't know. We'll see if it works out. I did buy these. These are extra. These side steps, they are body armor side steps for the body armor bumper, and they basically are like a side step slash slider for like a rock slider, which is nice. So we'll see how that holds up, protecting the rear, you know, that rear quarter panel there on the bed. Or no, I guess I shouldn't say quarter panel, just whatever, the rear bed. See how well it does there. You can also see underneath, I do have a 35-inch Wild Peak spare back there. It's the same as all the other tires. It is on the stock steel wheel, and it fits okay. So we're going with that. Up top, here is some Max Tracks that I put on with the Extrusion Overland XTR1 bed rack. And this is a back revolver X4S. Back revolver X4S tonneau cover. It's a roll-up. It's a roll-up cover, and right now I'm like basically empty. I have nothing back here besides recovery gear, air up, tire pump, and that's it so far because we're still building. And then on this side is pretty much nothing. It's pretty much all the same. So that's basically everything. Exterior mods. It's everything I've done. Interior, I can open these doors up. We can get some views. Might be worth opening up all 4 doors. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to bring you guys around with me or not. Oh, there's my John Wayne picture. The old cowboys, the old westerns, those are the best. So that's why I have John Wayne up there. A couple things, it's just pictures my dad had. There's like a painted one there. I did have it hung up. It looks like it fell down. I have to fix that. All right, that was sidetracked. Back to it. Up here, we have bullet point mounting systems. A lot of them. I have, here, I'll use this as a pointer now. I have phone mount here. I have MagSafe phone mount here with charger. I have camera mount here. I have the aux beam panel mounted here, and I have a radio for like a handheld radio here. And then over here on, I can't really see it here. I'll have to give it some flashlight, geez. Right here I have a tablet mounted onto this that's another aux or bullet point. So this is like, everything here this is like my command station. Everything else, as you can see, like the leather seats and things, that comes with the High Tide package. Those are the 392 seats, which is kind of cool, right? They're like the Wrangler 392s, the leather, McKinley leather stuff in there. So it's kind of cool. They give you like that upgraded stitching. Wow, I'm pretty sure that light just burned out. I think I got to charge it. There's my Starlink. There's my power station. There's some tools underneath the seats. The same thing. It's like tools and everything else. But that's it. that's the build so far. I bought this Jeep in September. It is now January, and that's what I've done. That's what we're going off-road with for now. Once springtime comes, we're gonna add to it. Hopefully we add more there. We're gonna bring you back around. So, yeah, let's go. We'll talk about some things, some planned upgrades. And maybe you guys can give me some insight on whether they're good plans or bad plans, I don't know. Gearing wise, I'm still on stock 373 gears because I'm a sport, I'm not a Rubicon. Some people say like, oh, it drives like garbage once you go bigger tires. I definitely can tell there's less power. I'm not super annoyed by it yet, I would say that. So we'll go over my list here. So here's my list. And you know what? Let me set this up, point here, and we'll go through it. We'll go through the whole thing. This is kind of cool. Okay, you're gonna get this whole thing. You're gonna get paper towel holder. I see lights up there. I don't know if you're a fan of Pittsburgh, but Icy Light beer, neon. Found it on eBay a couple years ago. Should probably turn that off so I don't forget. But it's kind of cool. Anyways, back to here. So, this is everything I have like Gladiator build, right? Stage 1, I called it safety and protection. Stage 2, here, we'll do this. There we go. Stage 2, I called it off-road. And stage 3, off-grid. And then there's going to be a stage 4, which I need to write that down. So we'll do this right now. Stage 4 is going to be performance. That's what we'll call stage 4. So safety and protection, that was front bumper, rear bumper, winch, lights, interior mounts, tonneau cover, and then medical equipment. I have some, I'm still working on like a full-blown med kit bag. I don't have that completed yet. Some of the ones were like you could just buy like an all-in-one solution are just very overpriced. So I'm kind of like piecing together things. A couple things like watching some videos from Trail Recon. Obviously, he has a medical background. Things that he says are things that he says you should have. I'm going to trust him over everybody else. So yeah, so medical still stage 1, still work in progress there. Stage 2 is off-road. I do have the 2.5-inch lift. However, I don't have the full lift. I only have the springs. I don't have shocks listed here, but I have springs, I have shocks. I have the upper front control arms. I have the track bar, front and rear. I have the 35-inch tires. I have the bed rack. I have regear and locker here for off-road, but actually that is going to be moved over, which is why I kind of wrote that there like that. Right, so over here, we're going to regear to 488s, and we are going to do front and rear locker when we do the regear. Why? Because we'll already have the differentials open, so save on labor. We'll just do that all at one time, which is why that's kind of like I'm holding off to like the very end of that. So it's going to cost something. Give me one moment. I'm going to replace my battery and be right back because yeah, I don't want this to die while we're talking about this. All right, I'm refilming this entire thing. Because I realized that I was doing some kind of weird subject tracking thing, and it was literally just like my face talking, and you couldn't see anything over here, and it was in portrait. I screwed something up on the camera. Comes with me being a noob. Now I need a little pointer. Oh, check this out. I found an awesome pointer. Radio antenna as my pointer. Okay, so I'm probably just gonna wipe out I'll do this in editing and probably just start this as the full like overview after you saw the truck. Because the truck's already parked and everything. I was editing this video and realized that the last video of all this whole thing at the end was all screwed up. So we're gonna go back to this, which is my Gladiator build, the whole thing. And I think you can see it. I'll do like a close-up here of everything, and then maybe I can like overlay this or do something. I don't know, or I might just talk about it. You can always just hold it up. All right, now we'll go through it. So starting on stage 1 of this build was, I labeled it safety and protection. I like the idea of making like a list and keeping track of the different things that I've done. All right, so we had front bumper. Front bumper is done. Rear bumper is done. Winch is done. Lights are done. Well, for the most part, lights are good enough. Interior mounts, that's done. Got everything I need to mount phones, to mount tablets, to mount, panels, anything I need. Tonneau cover, that's done. Wasn't necessarily required, but it's nice to have a tonneau cover if I'm not completely if I don't have everything loaded in the back where I can't close it. It's nice to have a cover to close up if I'm not fully loaded up with gear. Medical, I'm still working on medical. Because I have like most of my medical gear that I think I need. Stuff that I'm missing is like trauma kits, stuff to stop heavy bleeds, stuff to stabilize, that kind of thing. Like, yes, I have burn cream and itch cream and Band-Aids and gauze, ace bandage, things like that. But I don't have something that's I don't have a splint. I don't have something to stop major bleeding, things like that. Also, over here, I'm going to put it in green, as Pew Pew. I don't have that sorted yet. I don't know what I'm going to bring with me. I don't know if I'm going to take stuff that I already have. I don't know if I'm going to buy. I don't know how YouTube is with talking about those things. So it's there. Know that I will, if I'm alone in the woods, I will have protections. I just won't discuss it, but there will be protections. Pennsylvania, West Virginia, concealed carries, license to concealed carry, things like that, will all be taken care of. So let's go to stage 2. Stage 2 is off-road. We have 2.5-inch lift, which is part done. I have little green check marks next to springs. I don't know why I don't have them listed here, but shocks, those are done. Okay, so I have springs are done, control arms, upper control arms, the fronts are done, the rears are not. The lower control arms, front and rear, are not done. Track bars, front and rear, are done. 35-inch tires is done. Bed rack is done. Shocks are done. The only thing left to do is one thing I need to write. Snorkel. I am going to do a snorkel. Because I'm only 35-inch tires, I'll be some places that I might want to go, some places that I might want to adventure to. A snorkel will probably be helpful, having the 2 to 3 inches less of someone running, if you're running a 3.5-inch lift kit with 37s or 38s, you definitely are going to have a couple more inches. And so I'm probably going to get a snorkel just for that little safety factor. Because I was looking at prices of snorkels, the ones where you got to drill into the side of your hood. Scary, I know, but they're they're under $1,000. So I was thinking they were going to be super expensive, but they're not. So we're going to go with a snorkel eventually. 35-inch tires are done, bed rack is done, shocks are done, snorkel's not done. So before we head out on more adventures, upper control arm, the front lower control arm is going to be done next. That is going to be the next upgrade because I want to get the front lower control arm so that I can get my actual alignment done. Right now, I've just done it based on my own alignment, using like digital angle finders, things like that on the pinion angles of the front differentials, things like that. I've got it dialed in pretty well. Track bars are pretty good. I've measured. But to get an actual alignment done, I want to at least get the lower front control arm so that way I can set that wheelbase and help dial in caster a little better. The rear upper and lower control arms, I don't think I'm going to do that right away. I think it's going to depend on how much weight is added. So that's stage 2. That's off-road. We're pretty much good. I mean, we've tested it. We've done some trails. We've done some things as hard as I'm going to be doing at first. We've done them. So I'm pretty confident that we're good for off-road. We're ready to go. If spring comes, we can go right off-road. Now, as far as stage 3, which is off-grid, right? We have off-road. Stage 3 is off-grid. So off-grid is rooftop tent. That is the cooler. That is power. That is a way of documenting, having internet, having camp, having cook, camping and cooking. All things on stage 3. And rooftop tent, that's going to come. It's going to be one of the first things that I buy as soon as I get some extra cash here coming up. Cooler is probably going to be another thing I'm going to get because I do not like the idea of hauling around buckets of water that start out as ice and then it all ends up just being water. So the cooler, which is going to be like the cooler refrigerator, right? Those set powers. I'm not going to do like Ice Co. I'm not going to do like anything crazy expensive. I'm probably going to do a set power, small, like 21 quart for like $100 and some. Just something to have lunch meat, sandwiches, hot dogs, stuff to. Because I mean, I have a very strict diet when I'm not off grid. But if I'm going out in the woods, I'm just eating what I have to survive. It's going to be hot dogs. It's not going to be like anything crazy. It's going to be hot dogs and sandwiches. Power, I have a Blue Yeti Elite 100 V2. It's got 100 amp hour. I think I want at least another 100 amp hour. We'll see how that goes. I'm probably going to get another power station, maybe a Jackery or something. I have a Charger 1. I didn't put that in the video. I have a Charger 1 that connects from my battery. I ran it underneath the truck up into the rear cab, and it's under the back seat. So that plugs into my Blue Yeti, and it will charge it. It uses my alternator to charge it. It's like smart sensing. So when it sees my alternator jump up to like 14 volts, it turns on and starts charging if it needs. As soon as it sees it drop down to like 12 volts, it turns off. It's working pretty good so far. I've tested it a couple times. So we have a way of charging. I don't have solar, so I'm going to work on... that's going to be listed under power. I'm going to have another battery and solar. That's what I need. Internet's already done. I have Starlink. Document. I have this camera, which is good. I have my phone, which is also another source of documentation, which I'm going to use. I do want to get a drone. They just banned the whole thing, the whole drone ban. I'm confused on it. I think they can still sell what they made so far. They just can't sell new stuff like DJI. I'm going to get a drone, and because I want to be able to document everything for myself. I want to put it on YouTube for everybody to see, but the drive behind it is to document things for myself so that I can share it with me, my daughter, my family. We can just see, so I can show my adventures. It would be nice if I can show this and get younger people to want to do this, right? Because to me, I feel like the idea of roughing it camping isn't something that kids want to do because they're so connected to technology at such a young age, right? You're so connected immediately. But if we can show them, and I can show them what you can do technology-wise while being in the woods, while enjoying nature, while enjoying everything that your publicly funded, your tax dollars are paying for, I would love to get people outside, because then when they grow up, they're going to want to keep the tax dollars going into national forest, something like that, to keep this stuff available and keep it free for us to go and visit, or at least cheap, not necessarily free. So yeah, so I want to document, and I think the only other real thing I want to look at getting is like a drone. I don't know if I'm going to get like one of those crazy cameras things, because I'm not a photographer, I'm not a filmographer. I'm an IT guy that wants to go off road, and I like technology, but I'm really bad with filming. I'm okay with music. Most of the music that you're going to hear on this channel is just AI generated music. It's a lot of fun to do. And then, so that's documenting. Camping is obviously just like the overall thing, like camp lights, just an awning, things that you need just to be comfortable at camp. When you're not driving around in the woods, when you actually park for the night, well, everything I need, a chair, fire, everything is going to be considered camp. And then cook, obviously, is probably going to be jet boils, things like that. A way of cooking a meal, whether it's cooking up some hot dogs, or if I bring some chili along with me or something that's frozen. A way of cooking it all, way of heating up and having coffee and oatmeal in the morning. That's cook. So that's stage 3, off-grid. That stage 3 is pretty much going to be done before spring. At least the majority of it's going to be done before spring, because that is going to get me where I want to be, which is, as soon as the weather is to the point where I don't need to have a heater to sleep at night, I want to be out in the woods. I want to be going a couple weekends a month, where I'm just going out and testing everything out and learning, right? Trial and error, trial by fire, some might say. So stage 3 is going to be pretty much done before spring. Stage 2, it's going to be an all year thing, because there's 3 things I need to replace, right? I need to replace the lower control arms in the front and the rear, and the upper control arms in the rear. I'm going to probably just buy them as I have money for them. Stage 4 is performance. That is re-gearing. That I have 35s. I'm going to re-gear to 488 gears, not 456. I'm going to go up to 488 because I am in a truck and I am going to be hauling heavy stuff in the back. So we're going to go to 488 gears. And when I do the re-gear, which probably, to be honest, won't be until 2027, it's going to be next year. And when I re-gear next year, I'm going to do the front and rear lockers. And that's when I'll decide whether or not I'm going to do E-lockers, like E-lockers, or air lockers. Air lockers, I see people have issues with them. E-lockers, I see people have issues with them. I like the idea of not relying on the compressor and just relying on pushing a button and having an electric solenoid work. It looks like they both can break, so I'm not sure, but it's probably going to be the E-lockers connected up to like my aux beam. I'll have a button for front and a button for rear to turn them on and turn them off. And that's probably what I'm going to do there. And that's it. Like after that, like if we have a stage 5 would be obviously like America's Most Wanted, 5.7 Hemi swap. But at that point, I don't think I'm going to 5.7 Hemi swap a high tide. If I do anything, I probably will do a like turnkey 5.7 Rubicon from them, like buy it from them is probably what I would eventually do, if anything. But yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, I can do this, like there's the truck. Honestly, I wonder how this works. We're gonna zoom back out. Oh yeah, okay. Not bad. Yeah, see? So I magically parked. I was sideways and now I'm back to parked. And here's my snowblower, which I have out because it's winter and I'm in the Northeast here in PA. So to an overview of everything, I've introduced you to Sam. Sam is my adventure vehicle. The reason why his name is Sam, you'll have to look up Sam on TikTok. Because I never skip a Sam video, and he's like my alter ego. He's like the guy that I'm talking to while I'm driving around. So I gave him a name, and his name is Sam. This is the build so far. My name is Free to Roam. Well, my YouTube channel is Free to Roam. My name is Shane. This is Sam. I'm Free to Roam, and I need to figure out a catchphrase, right? Like something that I can have fun with to say, like, eventually, or remember, children. No, that sounds terrible. Remember, folks, only you can be free to roam. No, only you can prevent forest fires. We'll figure it out as we go along, you know. Remember, everyone, you're free to roam. No. Why don't you get out there and free? Nope, doesn't work. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll catch you guys later. See ya. I'm going to post this on Monday.